Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to go over the August TBR that I have kind of went a little overboard on. I'm not going to lie. There's so much I want to read right now. I have a lot of new releases. I have opened up a world of romantasy, I guess, is probably more accurate to what I'm willing to read sometimes. And I have a couple of challenges that I have kind of started and implemented. So I'm really excited. When I went through and I kind of redid the office library, I found a bunch of books that I hadn't even touched in so long, and then other ones that I wasn't even sure I wanted to read, but I wasn't quite ready to get rid of. And then I have a whole section here of books that I've started, but I've not finished. So I have a couple of challenges I want to talk to you guys about. The first challenge is going to be my finish or unhaul challenge. This is literally just a matter of me picking a book every month off of this shelf, and if I don't read it, if I don't finish it, it's gone. Because it probably means I'm not going to, and it's been sitting there long enough. And I'm not saying that once I do this challenge, that shelf's not going to grow, because it probably will. So I'm forcing myself to do this challenge. So the Finish or Unhaul challenge, we're going to start with Red, White, and Royal Blue. This is by Casey McQuiston. I adore this movie. I probably watch this movie at least once a week. It has become such a comfort movie for me. It's kind of like You've Got Mail. You've Got Mail is my all-time favorite romance movie. So, Red, White, and Royal Blue, I am on page 156 of it, and I had not read the book before I saw the movie. So I think maybe that might be the problem I'm having with the book, is that I'm just not enjoying the book as much as I enjoyed the movie. And I do feel like there's a lot of extra in the book so far that was unnecessary. Like, I feel like that's what made the movie so good, is that the movie was not a lot of extra stuff in the background. You know, there were only a couple of key characters. We didn't need to know the background of every single person. They eliminated the sibling that was in the book from the movie. And I think that made it a little bit better, honestly. I also don't know if when I finish this is going to be a book that I even keep on my shelf. Next challenge is my read or unhaul by Christmas pile. So I have a pile of books on my TBR shelf that you guys will see here in a few minutes. And they are all books that I haven't read. I've not really been drawn to them. There's just something about those books that makes me not want to get rid of them, but I don't feel the urge to ever pick them up. So I feel like I needed to create a pile where if I haven't read these books by Christmas, it means I have no interest in reading them. And because I have such a massive pile of books for this month, I didn't want to pick the biggest, fattest, smallest fonted book in the pile. So I picked up Very Bad Things by Alexis Winter. This is a billionaire romance. It's a part of a series. It is a part of a series, but I think it's like a standalone, because when I looked it up, this was like the 7th book. So I got this in a box. I don't even remember which one I got it in. Font is not tiny. I could get through this. If I don't read it, this is just going to be, it's going to be like Red, White, and Royal Blue, where if I don't read it, it's going to be gone at the end of the month. I'm just unhauling it. Next up is the Clear My Kindle challenge. Now this challenge is going to be only for books that I have e-copies of. I definitely have, I think we all have this problem where when we have Amazon Prime days, we see like a book we're interested in and it's $2.99 to get the Kindle version when it's normally like $15. And I know I'm guilty of that. I just recently did a bunch of books like that. So I need to clear my Kindle. I also have a bunch of Kindle Unlimited books that I need to kind of get through. So we are going to tackle every month. I mean, and honestly, most of the time I'll read a couple of them anyway, but I want to at least focus on one that is not a physical copy. So this month's book is going to be Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon. I can't even tell you what it's about. I didn't even realize that it was on my Kindle until I was going through, because one day I saw a book pop up and I'm like, where did that come from? It wasn't this book. But then I'm like, how many other books do I have on here that I've either forgotten or that just popped up. Last month I read a book that just popped up on my Kindle one day, and I don't even know where it came from. Like, that just meant that I'm in over my head on my Kindle. So I needed to do this. So it's The Weather Girl. It's by Rachel Lynn Solomon. And that's all of the challenges for this month. So yeah. The next book is going to be our book club book, and it is Never Lie by Frida McFadden. We are not doing a romance this month. I think because a lot of us are romance readers in general, this is a good way for some of us to branch out. This was the one that was voted on. I've heard that Frida McFadden is one of the easiest authors, one of the easiest thriller authors to get through. Next up, I want to try and complete a series that's been sitting on my shelf for a little while. There's a couple of books in the universe. I've already read the first one. I want to read the newer ones that are coming out, but I can't do it until I finish the Briar U series. I have all 4 of them here. The Chase, the Risk, the Play, the Dare. These are all by Elle Kennedy. I'm adding all 4 of them simply because the Off-Campus series was so easy for me to get through. I read all 5 of those books in literally a week. It was not difficult. They're easy reads. They're free on Kindle, so I can flop back and forth between the physical and the Kindle. And I think I could probably clear these out literally in a week. The Briar U series, because I'm ready to get into, I don't know what she's calling the Graham Effect and the Dixon Rule, but I'm ready to get into those books as well. Alright, so now we're getting into, these are like new releases, and I'm so excited for all of these that I just couldn't wait months to add these to my TBR. Like, I just want to read them. I'm so hungry to read them. The first one is Sarah Adams' The Match, the Second Chance Romance. All of these books are easy, quick. Next one, it's Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. Is it Monaghan or Monahan? I'm not real sure. I've heard both. I bought this last month because I heard nothing but great things about this book. So we are going to read that one. The next one, the plot just seemed really interesting to me. It's The Love of My Afterlife by Christy Greenwood. The concept of meeting the one in the afterlife just is fascinating to me. The next one is A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. I just think this cover's cute. And the idea of it being, she always writes a little like time bendy, I guess. But this is about a girl who literally is inside of some of her favorite romance books, and things are not always what they seem. And then the last new release that I want to read is Tessa Bailey's The Au Pair Affair. We read Fangirl Down in our June book club. It was our June book club book. I adored it. I thought it was quirky enough that I wanted to go and get this one just to see. So we are super excited to read this one. I just think sometimes she writes some of the the best, like, chicks and hockey. And if I don't get to this one, then hockey's in October, and my TBR in October is literally fall vibes, scary vibes, and hockey vibes, because hockey season starts. All right, 6 more books. Let's see if we can zoom through them. By Heather Morris. I believe this is lit fic, historical lit fic, but based on true events. I have wanted to read this since it came on my radar, which was months and months and months ago, but I can be super sensitive, and I did not want to cry. I know it's going to be a tearjerker. I've already prepared myself for it. I did not have it in me to put any more that was going to be sad. So the next one is like a time bendy book. This is The Ministry of Time by Colleen Bradley. And the concept of this just hooked me in. I almost got this as one of my book of the months, and I decided not to. I've heard mixed reviews on it. Some people either really love it, some people don't. So we'll see. But the back says, boy meets girl, the past meets the future, a finger meets a trigger, the beginning meets the end. Interesting, right? Then we're going to dip our toes into Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I wanted to give this book a real shot. So in order to do that, I had to read it now while I was in that mood. The final 4 books are 4 books in this pile that I am absolutely 1,000% the most excited to read this month. The first one is a Kindle book for me. It's Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. I had never heard of this book until one of my Facebook groups. They were talking about dedication pages, and the dedication page for this book is for anyone brave enough to ride the handle. And so instantly I was intrigued, because I'm like, what does that mean? Like, my brain first went to motorcycle book, but that doesn't make sense at all. So then I did some digging, and I found this book, and I'm excited to read it. The plot is about a girl who's obsessed with this, I guess, this like mask dude on social media, and then I guess he stalks her, I think. I'm not sure. I'm super excited to read is Leather and Lark by Bryn Weaver. So we're doing the audio version again for Leather and Lark, and I'm also interested to hear more about Lark's backstory, as well as Lachlan's point of view. The next two are not dark romances. There's no trigger warnings with these books. Hannah Bottom Young's Out on a Limb. I have heard nothing but absolutely ridiculous great things about this book, so I am really excited to read this one. People who hook up at a party and they end up pregnant, and I think this is, if I'm correct, this is like the journey through the pregnancy, right? The last book of the month, I made the mistake of going to the bookstore yesterday. I went to my local Barnes, and my Barnes girlies that work there really pretty much talked me into grabbing this, because they said it was like a Hallmark movie in a book. And it is The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. And literally this is supposed to be like magic meets Hallmark meets fairy tales, I guess. I don't know. I'm just really intrigued by this. And look at that purple edging. So pretty. The inside, the dust jacket says, a lush cottagecore tale full of stolen spell books, unexpected friendships, sweet jams, and an even sweeter love. I'm here for this. I'm ready to read this. I think I'm gonna love this, and I think that's it. I talked about the challenges I'm doing. This is a pile of books that if I don't read them by the end of the year, I'm going to get rid of them. For me to see, easy for me to grab. And then, as you guys know, this is my TBR for the month, my Kindle. I put this one on here because everyone is telling me that this is probably her best one yet. So I want to have it up here just in case. Things We Never Got Over is a book I have DNF'd before, and this is the only Lucy Score book I've ever DNF'd. But I want to give this another shot. I want to try it again, especially since they're doing, is it a movie adaptation or a TV show? So I want to have the 2 Devney Perry books I picked up. These are 2 new series. I loved the Eden series so much. I wanted to start another. Devney Perry seems like a good, quick little read for me. I didn't know which one, so I just went ahead and put them both on here. And then lastly, I put Powerful on here because I am reading Powerless. Not want to overwhelm myself by also adding Reckless to the shelf. So I just figured if I read Powerless and I want to keep reading about it, and then I'll just read the novella. 20 books that I have on my TBR. I don't want to do anything in the month of August except for read a book. I don't think I'm not kidding myself when I say I probably will not read every single book on here. But that's okay. I just could not make up my mind. In saying that, that is it. So if you're intending to read any of these books, if any out of this pile you would be like, read this one first, let me know. And we will see you guys in the next video.